restriction on the size or amount of something permissible or possible.
Ninga okwanjirirwa okw'ekintu kyona n'obukirabe ekirikwikirizibwa ninga kinurusya.
Breaking limits.
Okenda enkugiro.
For example, let me just give an example. If you're working,
Ekambahereza ekyokureberaho nka waba n'okora.
You have a salary of 500,000.
Oyine nk'omushahara gw'emitwaro 50.
So your monthly earning only total to 500,000.
Okashanga ngwezo rukorero kwezi kwona nizike emitwaro 50.
So there is a financial limit at which you are operating from.
Mwene nhaharwe ekigero ekyo mbya sente aho rukora nigashaho rukoma.
Even if you have to do budget, you only do budget within that sphere.
Nubu wakuba nokora entebekanisa notekwa kugikorera n'engenshokoza notekwa kugikorera muri ezo sente
And you may
zenyine.
never understand that you are controlled and you are limited, but you'll discover that you cannot budget or plan beyond what your mind tells you this is your income.
Haza nobasa obutakytegereza hati ngo orya hansi y'okutegerwa embarira yawe egyo konka hanyuma hono isha kukijumbura ngobyo ubwonko bwawe tubukabasya kuteekateeka ekirengire omushahara ogwo orikutunga.
So you cannot plan to have what you want, but you can plan what you can afford.
No tori kubasya kutebekanisa ebyo orukwetenga kwiyaho notebekanisiza ebyo orukubasa.
So you cut your budget
Mbwene embarira yawe notandika kugishazashazyamu
according to the limit of the money you have.
okurukirira esente ez'orukutunga ninga omushahara ogwo orukutunga.
Now you discover that the whole of your life and everything is governed around that circle.
Mbwene noheza ojumbura ngu amagana gawe gona nabyo nebikwetorwire nibitegerwa ahansi y'amaani gaketorora akakora
If
omuhati.
you want to buy a dress, you can only buy a dress only within that budget so that you can also have what to eat, what to pay in school. So it controls you. It's a limit. It's a financial limit. It's a financial bondage.
Waba oryo okugura ekiteteeyi noteekwa kubaririra kimwe okukitungira omu mbarire egyo yawe y'orumu mbwene ekyo nakyo shanga kyahinduka ekirikukugira omu sente.
So the amount limits you
Mbwenu esente ez'orukutunga nizikukugira
from having what you want,
okuruga kutunga ebyo by'orukwenda kutunga
achieving what you want,
na n'okubasya kutunga ebyo eby'orukwetenga kutunga.
and it limits you from advancing in your skills.
Kandi ekyo nakyo nikikuzibira omu kweyongyerayo omu bukugu bwawe obw'okuba oyine n'emyoga.
For example, you might be seated here and you are a great driver, but because you don't have a car, you can't even go to exercise your skillfulness in that aspect. And
No,
you are
but
limited. You can't exercise, you can't enter in the fullness of your talent or ability or skill.
Nobasa kuba sitameraka oshanga ngwe oryo omuvugi w'amaani orikusingayo omu kuvuga oyinemu obukugu konka habw'okugira ngu toyine emotoka yawe tihiine naho orikubasya kukozesa obukugu bwawe obwo habw'okugira ngu toyine emotoka.
So you never learn to drive. You can't learn to drive and put your skill to use.
Mbwenu tokabasya kwega okuvuga nengashinga obukugu bwawe omwogo ogwo oguteeka omu nkora.
I love Deacon Nelson because I was teaching one day here.
Ninkunda Deacon Nelson ab'okiizooba rimwe nkaaninyegyesa aha
About renewing the mind.
ahako orikubasya kugarura busya enteekateeka yawe.
And he was a teacher. He was lecturing at Kabale University.
Obo bwire akari lecturer ahitendekere rya Kabale
But
University.
even though in him was, this grace in him to be a doctor, to be a pharmacist, and he was struggling with the actual reality of the career he's involved on, but the life, the passion, the interest is totally somewhere else.
Konka akanas kwa munonga awakamagara ge gona kaya yenzire ngo abomushaho ahinduka omukugu ombyo kujumbura no kumanya embazi eyo kuhereza abantu konka habwe mbere y'abarumuna no kwegesyo kuyabira mu bwirobwo kiri kumukugira.
I remember that day said the researcher found out but most effective people don't use more than 5% of their internal capacities.
izobe ryo ninjuka nkagira nti harukwe bichweka bice mnonga nkaitana harigana abantu barukubasa kozesa obasya bwabo bwenye no buryo mondo mu rubo.
Even the powerful people are not going beyond 5% of their brain potential.
N'abantu barukweyeta abamani nabo tubarukuhingura habichweka itana harigana ebyo bwonko bwabo burukubasa kora.
You can imagine the people seated in this room. Most of us, our capacities are 0.0.0. We are not at all utilizing the potential that God has given us.
Haza benjo muri imwe kutwaza kuza no kwecobera no shanga ngo bwasya bwitu abamwe twakakozise kiryo muri busha ahari busha.
All that heaven has infused in you is not at all put to use.
Byona ebyiguru bitiro mondo muri iwe taharho na chumwe chuwabikozise.
And so we desire to say, how do we break these limitations?
Bueno nitwetengera chumwe okumanya nkuturahende nkujirezi.
And we say that prayer is one of the things God has given us to break limits.
Kandi tukagamba ngo eshara nico shinchamane cy'uruhanga twerize okutuwa kubasya kwende kujirezi. Amani agaryo mushara.
I was talking about activating your prayer life in the previous service. You must tire up your prayer life.